That night the dream came again. Not as thunder, not as fire, but as a whisper clear enough to shake the soul. Turn back, Adekanal, this path ends in sorrow. Adekanal turns in his sleep, disturbed. God had warned him before, more than once, but pride has a way of making warnings sound like noise. Adekanal was respected, a successful trader, a loving husband, a man others admired. You barely slept again. Adekanal replies dismissively. It's just a dream. Dreams don't control my destiny. But when God speaks, even in dreams, ignoring him does not make the message disappear. Few days later in the marketplace, a stranger approaches. He looks calm, polished. The stranger says to him, I've watched you. You have influence, power. I can multiply your wealth beyond imagination. Adekanal listens closely. One partnership, one shortcut. The offer was quick. The profit was tempting. He thought about the warning from the dream. Suddenly he felt far away. Adekanal replies, I will think about it. But deep inside, he already had. At night again he had a darker dream, storm clouds and a voice saying, Do not walk with him. Adekanal sees himself falling into a pit. No, no. He shouted and woke up sweating. 2 warnings. Same message. Different tone. Adekanal says to himself, Fear is for the weak. The next day Adekanal walks through the dusty marketplace. The elder, a wise old man with a calm presence, gestures for him to sit under a baobab tree. Elder says to him, Adekanal, I hear whispers in the wind. Your heart is proud, your path quick. Remember, short paths often hide long regrets. Adekanal brushing him off confidently. Baba, I respect your words. But times have changed. A man must act, seize opportunities. The elder leans closer, serious. Opportunities that demand your integrity, that demands all that you have and sounds too sweet, they are traps. Do not be blinded by gold that glitters. But pride has a way of turning wisdom into noise. Adekanal smiled, bowed politely and walked away. The warning lingered, ignored. At night under flickering lanterns, Adekanal meets the stranger in a quiet courtyard. The stranger, smiling and smooth, says to him, Adekanal, your reputation precedes you. You have power, influence, wealth waiting to be multiplied. Adekanal leaning in, curiously. And what do you want in return? The stranger replied him, Only a simple partnership. Sign here this contract. 1 clause, your trust. Adekanal takes a quill, hesitates, then signs. The stranger nods. It felt so easy. A single signature and the gold would flow. The whisper from the dream was forgotten. The stranger pockets the money, smiles faintly, then fades into shadows. But shadows hide what the eye cannot see. The stranger's promise was false, and he vanished before dawn. Weeks later at sunrise, customers and business partners approach Adekanal's store, looking angry and desperate. Adekanal, where is the money for the goods? We trusted you, you promised. Adekanal fumbles through papers, panic growing. Adekanal replies with shaking voice, I'll pay soon. The promises of wealth were gone. The stranger took the gold, leaving Adekanal to face the consequences alone. Adekanal soon started selling his properties, counting coins nervously. He sold his major farm, bicycle, his livestock, even part of his house. Still the debts mounted. Each day brought new confrontations. Each knock at the door tore his confidence further. The community whispering, some shaking heads, others walking away. The elder says quietly to a friend, I warned him, pride always comes before a fall. Adekanal sits alone in an empty, dimly lit house. Rain taps against the window. From a man of respect and wealth, Adekanal became a shadow of himself. No one called, no one visited. Only the echo of his own mistakes remained. His wife walks in calmly. You are not alone. I will stand by you through thick and thin. We can rebuild from the little that's left, my love. Adkunle whispers. Thank you, my love, you also warned me. I have learnt my lessons. We would start over again. God, if you are still listening, forgive me. I was blind, I ignored your warning. And in that quiet, brokenness met grace. Adekunle walks slowly outside, a renewed resolve in his eyes. Rock bottom has a gift. It strips everything, leaving only what matters, truth and humility. Adkunle says to himself, I will rebuild the right way. With God's guidance. Adekunle started helping neighbours. He fixed his store carefully. This time he listens. No shortcuts, no pride. Months later, Adekunle smiles genuinely as he assists a young boy with his work. Gradually he went back to his old business, selling farm products from the proceeds from the little farm he has left, with the assistance of his wife. The man who fell learned the hardest lesson. Grace does not restore pride. It restores purpose. Some people admired him. Obedience delayed is not obedience denied. If repentance is true, God never forsakes. At night, Adekunle sleeps peacefully, warm light from the window. A voice says gently, echoing, Now you understand. God's warnings are invitations, not punishments. He calls before the fall. He waits for the return. Subscribe to Olive Mitchie Cinema for more stories that inspire, warn and restore. Your life may be next. Pay attention to the whispers.